Here we are. It is the Elder Scrolls tier list. So my idea was, instead of just doing the names, because I feel like the names, it's a bit ran through now, you know what I mean? Like we've done the names. We're instead doing sort of, you meet them in a bar. That's the scenario. How much time would you spend with them in a bar? Like how many drinks would you have with them? So as you can see, we have the top tier, which is taking them to afters, which you can take that in terms of implications. You could take that however you like. We have a deep, meaningful conversation, which I think was a pretty good one. Share a single pint. And then as you go down the list, you have avoiding eye contact, covering your drink, because, you know, I mean, for whatever reason. And then finally, James came up with this tier name, if you couldn't tell, which is Musk tier, which...
Is Musk tier like you let them impregnate you and you have a bunch of kids and then you can't get a hold of him via anything except for Twitter?
Apparently they're all IVF babies of him trying to create, because he only wants like male kids.
Dynasty.
He wants
a
selective
legacy,
breeding.
bro.
Yeah.
James made the tier list political, basically, is what I'm saying.
Dude's playing Crusader Kings in real life.
Everything is political.
If you're right wing, then the bottom tier is like Bernie Sanders asks you for a drink.
Damn.
That's how we go with that one.
I would love to drink.
That'd be crazy cool.
But yes, worse than cover your drink. Imagine it's like, you don't even want to cover your drink. You just have to leave the building.
Like you walk in, you see them, you're walking out of the bar.
Yeah, I'd go to a different...
Yeah.
Okay, so let us begin.
Oh, also, what are we doing, by the way?
Wait, where am I?
Did you not? I was about to introduce the first one, if you didn't mind.
Yeah, I went for the overview of the like what series or show we're doing. We didn't say.
This is the Elder. I said the Elder Scrolls at the start.
Oh, did you? Oh my god! I'm
not listening
James,
to my amazing introduction. Just totally undercut. But we're gonna start with. Reese, do you recognize this first one?
Yeah, it's the Adoring Fan, baby.
It is the Adoring Fan. This is an NPC from Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. He is a little wood elf. Wood elves are my favorite races because they're just little guys, and I think it's a bit silly. They engage in a bit of cannibalism, but like I said, it's just a little bit of silliness. Yeah, it's a long story.
Who doesn't these days?
The Adoring Fan, however, being a citizen of sort of Cyrodiil, most likely doesn't engage in cannibalism. He's a bit more civilized. But he shows up after you become champion of sort of the gladiatorial arena in kind of the capital city. And he just follows you around, basically just glazing you 24/7.
Buy Azura, buy Azura, buy Azura.
He goes, buy Azura, it's the champion! And he's infamously annoying. But at the same time, yeah, he is just a cute little guy. So he's going to be a bit loud and annoying. I mean, it depends. What's your opinion on just perpetual glazers?
Right. So for me, the thing is he my Adoring Fan when I go and meet him in the pub? Or
let's assume he is.
Because that would change it like a lot.
Let's assume he's your Adoring Fan.
Okay, then I would put him in Cover Your Drink because I'm scared. I'm scared he'd
He's coming on a bit strong.
Yeah, he'd probably like, roofie me, skin me, and then like wear my skin,
Yeah, I have had a couple glazers in my life, and the only way to get them out of that is to genuinely avoid eye contact.
Oh, he's just a little guy.
I'm on Cover Your Drink. If he's my Adoring Fan,
Yeah, but if he's someone else's Adoring Fan, that could be really boring. That could be a really boring.
No, I'd probably get shit-faced with him. I think it'd be fun.
Spoilers for a game series, which the most recent one is 14 years old. So.
Okay, yeah. So put him in Cover Your Drink.
Cover Your Drink, yeah.
Cover Your Drink, crazy.
Okay, this next one. Wow, it's gonna be a huge lore dump. It's Almalexia. To make a long story short, she is the wife of Nerevar, who betrayed him and sort of killed him to achieve godhood. She becomes part of the tribunal, which are like these three living gods. And she takes care of Morrowind. She's known as Mother Morrowind. Once again, she's known as Mother Morrowind because she became a goddess and instated herself as such. And she's sort of this very self-centered, Aphrodite-like figure, if you want, but sort of like a battle Aphrodite. Like, she protects Morrowind as its caring mother. But also, like, if you don't love her, she will probably kill you.
What?
That's sort of her whole deal. She set herself up as the loving mother, and the people of Morrowind have no choice in the matter.
Yeah, I feel like based on that, especially that end bit, if I do anything below getting shit-faced, I feel like I will get like smited down or something, or like,
So do you reckon like
taken to a dimension?
Her being a goddess would like stop her potential for like remembering if she gets shit-faced? Like, will she remember everything, or will she actually get shit-faced at all if she's a god?
Well, she was once human, but she might have she kind of controls causality, so she can decide if she gets shit-faced or
Yeah, I
not.
feel like I have to say,
okay.
at least get shit faced with her, or she's gonna
All right, but
You know
scenario.
what? I'll take her to the
Something.
afters. I'll show her some loving.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay,
she's
so
a bad
this is.
low-key.
I got 2
You can't say
points.
no to her, so
Wow. Okay.
Rivers-
So what are the ethics then of sleeping with gods? Because really, you don't have much
I
of
mean,
a choice.
you
do
don't have a choice, but they're a god, so
but that's
you
the
kind of
ethics
have
of
to.
it.
So I imagine
Hope they
what would
don't kill you.
happen is I'd have multiple children with her, and then she would just find it really hard to contact me after that.
So we're musket.
But no, but you're missing the thing of you would have the children yourself
We're gonna musket then.
because she's a god. You'd be the one giving birth. to
Yeah,
them.
but then the children's are like little godlings, and I'm just like a mere
You're
human,
popping them
you know?
out.
Yeah.
I'm not popping them out, bro. She's the woman.
Yeah, but she's the god. She just makes you
Yeah.
have them.
Like Morrowind
No,
law,
that's
it does
true.
kind of
That's
track
true.
that you would end up giving birth to the children.
Not much you could do. She decides you want to have them instead.
Well, just one night then. One night at the afters.
I'm gonna take a stand here, and I'm gonna say musketeer because I don't.
2 to 1. Sorry, take it to afters.
Yeah, taking her to the afters, mate.
If I'm
Outvoted.
outvoted, I'm outvoted.
Yeah.
I love
This
democracy.
is
I mean,
democracy manifest.
You can Google like her Morrowind model that's all like polygonal and shit. Like she's bad as hell in Morrowind.
I
with, like,
really
her
want to
4
talk
polygons.
about the ethics of having sex with gods.
Bro,
based on
it's a
the
god.
fact
You
that-
can't. There is no
Well,
ethics.
listen,
You
she
just
was
have to
born. She was
take
born
it.
mortal. Okay, she just became a god. She was born a mortal.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That
but
makes it
this
perfectly
is
fine.
this is an allegory for celebrity culture.
That is very true, actually. That's
He's not wrong.
This
basically the Kim Kardashian of Morrowind.
and if Kim Kardashian demands that you have sex with her, can you? How do you?
Hey,
I feel like
can
I
say
feel
no.
I
No,
still
no,
feel
no,
like
no, no, but I wouldn't
still
go
feel like
that
it's
far. I wouldn't
different.
take her to the afters, mate. I wouldn't take her to
yeah.
the
I still feel like
afters.
it's different because you could say no. Like there is no comparison to our world technically.
No, there isn't.
anyways, let's move on.
The
to
queen.
the
I
next
wouldn't take her
one.
there after what she did to
Into
Kanye.
some-
You know?
I
for
think
debate.
I think we all know this character. This is Astrid from the Dark Brotherhood questline in Skyrim.
Afters.
Oh yeah.
No,
Are we all-
well, so
I'll give a brief summary. I'll give a brief summary just for viewers. This is like she's the leader of like this assassin sort of faction, and by the end of it, she does actually spoilers for Skyrim.
14-year-old game,
does
by the way.
She does
15-year-old
betray the Dark Brotherhood to the Empire, and you have to kill her. It's very sad.
But from the moment that she kidnaps you and makes you kill one of the 3 people she's got in her room, I just kind of knew that she was a little bit freaky. So
yeah.
taking them to afters. I think
When
to
you
be fair,
first
I think
gonna-
we're being taken to afters.
Yeah.
Are you
that's
afraid
true.
she's gonna betray you?
Yeah, but like,
I would-
isn't
I
that-
would-
I would maybe-
I think that's a bit
I would
exciting.
maybe. Yeah,
What if
I would
you're a
maybe
target?
take
What
it
if you're a
down
target?
But if I'm not my max level Skyrim character, then I can't really do anything about that either.
I'm a target.
So-
If I'm a target, I mean, she's probably the best way to go, right? I mean, her husband's a werewolf. That wouldn't be very fun.
Yeah,
I'd
I'll
probably,
be
I'd probably
your
get
whatever his name
shit
is.
faced with her. to be
Babette
honest.
is a child vampire. Nazir is
Is a goat.
Yeah,
Is
to be
he?
fair,
I think he's on this tier list.
Nazir's sick,
He's on
bro.
the- all right, Nazir.
doesn't
love
I'm
Nazir?
getting shit faced with Nazir. Let's circle.
Ego
back.
or
doesn't
Vigo?
love Nazir.
Let's circle.
Yeah,
back around.
Nazir is on this tier list. So we have a lot to look
Great.
forward to. We can look forward to Nazir. So where are we putting Astrid?
I'm gonna say getting shit faced. I'm a bit scared to take her to
I'm
afters,
fine with getting shit faced.
especially if it's at my house. I don't want her to know where I live. You know?
That's true. That is very,
You wanted
very
to meet
true.
mum and dad.
No,
Okay.
not really.
Next, we have Azura, who is sort of a similar figure to Almalexia. But what... So, remember I said Almalexia is part of the Tribunal?
Yeah.
The Tribunal was... they were 3 people who became gods to overthrow kind of I think they're called Reclamations, the original gods of Morrowind. One of those original gods was Azura. She sort of... Her domain is not very clear. She's sort of known as the goddess of dawn and dusk. She seems to be related to prophecy and beauty in a lot of ways. She's responsible for creating not only the Dunmer, but also the Khajiit. Although her claim on creating the Dunmer isn't very strong. She basically got pissed off at them one day and made their skin grey. But besides that, she contributed nothing to their society or culture. But then just took credit for everything. There's a very infamous story of her where sort of a scholar summoned her and presented her like a box, and he wanted to test the omniscience of Daedra. So he asked Azura, like, tell me, like, what is in this box?
What's in the box?
Yeah. And Azura, she sort of said, oh, it's a rose petal. A rose petal's in the box. And when they opened it, there was nothing inside. So then they desummoned Azura, and immediately, like, that night, the guy just, like, died in his sleep. And when they found him, they saw there was like a rose petal up his sleeve. It's sort of, he managed to trick a Daedric prince into admitting they're not omniscient, but his life was forfeit. So Azura is very similar to Almalexia in the sense that you have to love her. She loves to be loved. And if you don't, there may be some consequences.
So afters then, we just have no choice but to fuck all these Daedric princes, is what you're telling me.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we could have a DMC.
She doesn't need to know about the afters. As long as you show her the proper respect, then it's like you could have the DMC.
Yeah, or we have a DMC and just like glaze her a little bit, and then maybe she'd be happy. You know.
Am I going to belong to their realm at any point if I take this? If we
No,
go too far
no.
up this list, or is it like you belong to them now?
No, Azura, to my knowledge, doesn't have anything like that.
Okay,
DMC I'm fine with for this one.
works for me.
DMC. I'd be interested to hear what she has to say.
Yeah, she's prophesizing stuff, you know.
That's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If we're taking this as like there's a good chance we're not going to be destroyed after this, then yeah, DMC is all good.
Yeah, but she famously did create the Khajiits, and as the Khajiits tell it, they're like, yeah, Azura wanted to create like the most cunning and the most intelligent and the most agile people on the planet. It's like kind of just self-glazing a little bit. Next, we have
Jarl Balgruuf.
Jarl Balgruuf.
Yes.
The Jarl of Whiterun. His son is like a sicko who is doing weird conversations with the Daedric prince in his basement. His housecarl is a very sort of aggressive dark elf woman called Irilith. What else do you need to know about Jarl Balgruuf?
I think is Jarl Balgruuf, and forgive me for this, is Jarl Balgruuf woke?
What does that mean?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No
one knows what it means unless you actually do know what it means. But in the wider conversation, is he?
How does that, in terms of Skyrim, how does that translate?
Is he Skyrim woke?
What, for not siding with the Stormcloaks?
And for having a dark elf housecarl.
Oh, I see. It was like a DEI hire. That's what you're getting at.
That's what I mean. Are there going to be a bunch of Whiterun citizens going, boo, DEI, why can't you have a... make Lydia your housecarl, boo.
That's one of my favorite
what do you
scenes
know
in
of a
Skyrim.
True Nord is your housecarl.
It's when all the Whiterun guards like could proclaim you Dragonborn, and Irilith's like, don't be ridiculous, it's not a Dragonborn. And they're like, you don't know Irilith, you don't know anything about the Dragonborn, you dark elf. What do you know about the Dragonborn? And they just basically just be super racist to her. It's like the funniest scenes. But anyways, where are we going with Jarl Balgruuf?
I
mean, I feel like he's kind of chilling. I'd have a pint with him.
I think he's too serious to have a DMC or get shit-faced. I think that's my headcanon for Jarl Balgruuf, is that he would have a pint with you. And
he's got a hold to run.
You sip it slowly, but nothing.
Well, he would do that
crazy
thing where he talks to you for that pint, but then he would turn and in that big hall get on with business, and you would just, everyone else that's there, you'd probably just like mingle. So
you just be sitting down one of those long tables.
Just
by his throne,
Exactly. So like you're
He's
having a
busy
pint
man.
with him, but he's entertaining and doing business. So I think share a single pint.
He's got shit to do,
He's a busy man.
Yeah.
I'm a very busy man, Mr. Dubois. That's an unrelated reference.
No one got my 7
Anyways.
what's in the box reference either. Never mind.
I did get it.
I
did what
I
it
did.
said.
Oh, you got it. Yes.
What's in the fucking box?
What's in the box?
Anyways.
Next is Null.
No. Next is Boethiah, who I'm going to use they them pronouns for, but know that they present both as male and as female. They switch between them however they please, because Boethiah is sort of about deception and rebellion. That's what Boethiah is all about. It's sort of deception, rebellion, murder, and this is sort of an underrated aspect of their domain, like self-improvement, but self-improvement in the harshest way. They're sort of like a very throw their followers into the deep end. A lot of the followers of Boethiah are serial killers. They're people who are just fighting everyone as much as possible. The famous story is 3 people summoned Boethiah, and Boethiah killed the first one. Sorry, it was 4 people. He killed the first one, killed the second one, and then the third one stabbed the fourth one to sort of like show Boethiah like, hey, I'm the fucking man.
I'm chill like that.
Yeah. I'm a main character. I'm not like these NPCs. That's Boethiah's thing. They kind of love their followers to have main character energy. They want their followers to fucking be ballers, not be like little bitches. And Boethiah is also one of the 3 gods of Morrowind. So Boethiah, I believe, Boethiah was the one that was taken over by Almalexia. So Boethiah sort of preceded Almalexia in that sense. So if Boethiah was the harsh mother, who was just like really rough, given that tough love, then Almalexia is supposed to be the lovely mother who takes care of you. That's sort of the dichotomy.
Okay, now I don't quite understand this because I'm not very up to date on my internet jargon. But would you describe this as dark woke?
Boethiah is a bit dark woke, bit of a dummy mummy kind of figure.
Todd Howard woke?
Well, I mean, God.
It's
God
pretty.
Howard.
I'd say pretty.
Excuse me.
Yeah, pretty
God
woke.
Howard.
Pretty woke actually. Pretty woke, and it makes me sick.
Yeah, you said Dommy Mummy.
Yeah, for sure.
I would probably take them to the afters and just
Yeah, same.
do a whole load of hard drugs with them, and see where the night takes us.
Just who could drink the most? Who could do the most
What, you're going to try prove
drugs?
yourself?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
out drink or
yeah.
out crack smoke the.
I'll make Boethiah improve themselves,
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Wow.
through copious amounts of cocaine.
You say
See, I want
surpass your limits as you're just doing line
But we-
after line.
past your
I'd
limits.
snort them under the table, mate. I'd snort them under the table.
Ultra.
Boethiah's probably one of the few Daedric princes that wouldn't take offense to you challenging them because they love underdog.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah. I mean, afters, yeah.
Afters.
Okay.
Also, it's a
excellent.
raw image, so
Yeah.
I'm not an
That-
the
of them,
afters, mate. I'll
so-
tell you that much.
Next, we have one of my favorite characters in
Rich
Oh
Jack.
man.
just in anything. We have Caius Cosades. So he is like, I can't even explain it. Like, he's almost like Alvor in Skyrim, where he's one of the first characters you meet who like helps you. He works for the Blades. But when you walk into, they always say like, go to Caius Cosades from the Blades. He will give you a mission. And you walk into his house, and he's just standing there shirtless. And the first thing he does is ask you to go buy him some drugs. And like, he's just, he's very open about just being a skooma addict. But he is like the person who gives you your missions and is like sort of the hub for a lot of the Blades missions. Like, he is your mentor for the Blades. But he's also just a super ripped old man who is just very addicted to drugs. It's hard to really describe.
I would say if you think anything Ethan says is wrong, feel free to put it in the comments. I'm sure he'd be happy to.
I swear to
debate
God,
you.
that's like, that's actually accurate. Like, he does, like, he asks you for skooma. Like,
No, I don't. Not doubting you. I'm just saying if anyone wants to argue, I'm sure you'd be happy to
I see.
have
Yeah,
out with them.
I'm gonna stay out of my own comment section for this one. I think.
I'd get shit faced with him.
Yeah,
I think that's probably a good place to put it.
He's a jacked old man, but I don't really want to fuck him.
I don't want to take him to afters because he'll do everything there,
he'll make the vibe weird.
Yeah. He's that one person that just like goes a bit over the top
Yeah.
at the afters.
Yeah, I go way
Well,
too
I
hard.
mean,
It's like
way too far.
Talking.
It's 7 a.m. and he's still just trying to get.
Yeah,
go.
everyone's just trying to sleep, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to go for a cigarette, bro?"
It's like, no, man. God.
I mean, talking. Of
How are you
making-
still up?
Talking of making the vibe weird. This next one, to be fair.
Oh, yes, Cicero. So, the
Bro,
evil
put
jester.
that man in must tier right now.
The evil. Well, let me give him a breakdown. The evil
Yeah.
jester of the Dark Brotherhood. He's the gatekeeper, whatever the. I can't remember the name. The speaker. Yeah, he's the speak. No, he's not a
No,
speaker.
he's
I
not.
genuinely can't
He's-
remember the
he's
name.
Like
No,
just
he's
guardian,
the
isn't
he guards the.
He takes
the
care.
Night
Yeah, he
Mother's-
takes care of the
Night
Night
Mother's
Mother,
tomb. Yeah.
which is just not even undead, just a coffin of a really old dead woman. And he spends all of his time talking to that coffin,
Is she
but
in
it
this
never
list?
talks back to him. And no, Night Mother's not. Well, debatably, she is in this list, but we'll get to that. But yeah, he's just a crazy old jester that speaks to a dead woman all day.
I would like to avoid eye contact. I think.
Yeah, because honestly, now thinking about it, right, if you just avoid eye contact, he doesn't come over. Like, you could hear a lot of interesting stuff and see like how other people interact with him, and it might actually be quite entertaining. But just don't look at him,
Yeah, just don't get dragged into conversation yourself.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, next we have God, wow, all these names are literally like Clavicus Vile, there we go. It's hard to keep track of, I'm under pressure. We have Clavicus Vile.
My
Sort of
guy.
the Loki figure of
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls, the god of but he's less the god of trickery and more just the god of deals in
Is
general.
he? Is he
loves
the
to make
like borderline Cockney one in Skyrim?
Yeah. He has a Cockney accent. He's always beside his dog Barbarous. That's sort of what he's famous for. But yeah, his whole thing is he likes to make deals with humans, and he sort of always wins on the deals. That's Clavicus Vile's thing. He never loses a deal.
Shit faced.
I think in that case, I was gonna say I'd share a pint with him because if I was getting shit faced, I'd probably end up,
Yeah, just
enslaved
agreeing to
him
something
or-
you don't
or
want to agree
something.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Tread
looking at
lightly.
it. I'm looking at it. There are a couple of cool lads who have seen a lot, know a lot. They might take favor on you and just fuck with someone else while you're there. That could be quite funny.
True. If I'm having a
That could be
DMC, I'm
quite
revealing
entertaining.
my deep secrets to him. He's probably just going to use those against me,
Use that
even
against you.
unintentionally, just because it's what he does.
You'll have a DMC with him and go, I'll leave him alone. You're going through a lot, buddy. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
mess.
that's too much even for me. I'll let you be.
I'm gonna go mess with that guy over there.
Okay, so what?
I'm
Share a
saying
single
pint.
pint?
Whatever
I'm
the others want to say.
saying pint. Yeah, I'm
I'll
saying
do it.
pint.
Pints works for me. Pint works.
Okay. Next, we have Crassius, Curio.
You made that up.
So, are any of us familiar with the book, The Lusty Argonian Maid?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Okay.
Of
So
course.
this
Incredible.
man is the author of The Lusty Argonian Maid. I believe he's part of House Halalu in Morrowind. I'm only saying that because he's an Imperial. And House Halalu are the most friendly to Imperials. He's sort of just a degenerate. I have no other piece of evidence to give besides the fact that he wrote several books.
He just likes
About-
writing smart.
Smart.
Yeah, about fucking lizard people.
I'd probably put him in the same base as the Rip dude, where I'm sure he'd be great at a night out, but you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to. He'd be a,
You would
bit
take.
of
He
a
would be the
nightmare
weird
to take
guy.
into
The
afterwards.
afters. Yeah.
Yeah.
You would get shit faced.
I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna say cover your drink.
Ooh,
I
you know,
really
yeah, you might have a point
I
there.
don't.
Is it either or?
And listen, I'm all for lusty Argonian maids, right? I got nothing against it, but there's something just about this white guy writing about it. So like, actually, that just
My thoughts are I'm not the person he's going to be like.
he's a fetishist.
Yeah, but I'm not the person he's going to be fetishizing. So then,
Yeah, 'cause
so
you're
I'm
not
kind of
Argonian.
Yeah,
I'm
but
safe.
that's just one fetish. He's probably got
Yeah,
a
who knows
ton.
what else he's
He's
into,
probably
yeah.
got
There's
a
True,
ton.
probably
true,
so
true.
many. It's probably Okay, no,
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
I back Rufus' decision.
It's
Cover
like
your-
it's like
cover
it's
your
like
drink,
he's
yeah.
fine.
he's overdoing one fetish to hide the others, so that all you
Yeah,
focus on is the
exactly.
Argonian maids. But in reality, he's into fucking deranged shit. I would like to cover my drink.
That's fine.
Okay, cover your drink. Next, we have Dagoth. He was sort of it's not clear on the facts, but he was the best friend supposedly of Nerevar. He was betrayed by the tribunal when they became gods, and they sort of cast him aside. He's sort of like this. So the whole lore of Elder Scrolls is that like it's all in the dream of a sleeping god. He sort of gained the ability to lucid dream, and now he's using his lucid dream abilities to try just like get all the Argonians out of Morrowind and just create a pure country and just take over the world with Dunmer supremacy.
So
That's sort of his deal.
Musk.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these guys are actually kind of silly goofy, and this guy's just kind of serious.
Serious Smerious.
Just serious, smerious.
No, I don't know. That mask screams silly, goofy.
It does, but the character doesn't.
But yeah, no, I would.
Kind of like Musk,
Yeah.
not to get political or anything.
Ooh.
He's after
Yeah.
an ethnic cleansing or two.
silly.
Yeah, but you
goofy
don't.
facade.
You couldn't if you're not someone he considers part of his, entourage. Something you wouldn't.
He
trust
does
his
want to make
motivations.
Morrowind great again, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Musketeer's fine then. For that one.
Next, we have Delphine. She is the leader of the Blade. She helps the Dragonborn on his journey, and she is most infamous for asking you or demanding you
You kill
slay Paarthurnax.
How could she? How could she? Honestly,
And I
That's
borderline
my-
unhelpful in reality
she is. Yeah.
as well, because all she does is interfere with your quests, send you on quests you don't want to do, take up a lot of your time doing pointless quests.
Yeah, like there's no information in the Thalmor Embassy
Yeah,
at all.
and all that does actually is spur on the argument that Ulfric Stormcloak is actually a Thalmor spy. So is it all Delphine's fault that people are arguing about that? Link to Old Man Yaurivid right here.
Yeah, link to Old Man Yowie.
Yeah,
Either cover your drink or Musketeer.
I'm happy with Musketeer,
I'd
mate.
say just avoid eye contact. Quite honestly, like.
Nah, I don't want her in there. I don't want her in there.
So you
And
see,
I-
so
I-
If
see
you
her-
saw
I also-
Autumn and saw
I've-
her, you'd walk out.
you see
I
her
feel
in
like
the
she's the
eye,
kind of person that would still approach you even if you avoided eye contact.
I hate those people.
True,
Oh,
true.
she
Yeah,
is.
so
That is so
Musketeer
accurate.
then.
That is so
Yeah,
fucking
I hate
accurate.
those. She would.
Okay, next we have Divayth Fyr, who I had to put in here. So, I was speaking on the Living Tribunal, of course, who are mortal, who became gods. They are thousands of years old. Despite that, Divayth Fyr is older than them. Not because he is immortal, but just because his magic is so powerful, and he happens to be an elf. It sustained him to the point where he is older than his own gods, and he literally remembers when they were people. And it's a super awkward sort of place to be in.
That
He
is
is
kind of
the
based.
He is the strongest Telvanni wizard. He's unlocked the secrets to immortality, but he just doesn't give it to himself because why not? He does have several clone daughter wives. That is sort of the asterisk on him.
Oh, I see.
He did clone himself.
I was so
some
close to saying
daughters.
based. and then you said that.
Yeah.
Oh, I did say kind of
Yeah.
based before I
Oh,
heard
so
that.
good.
And he is also friends with the only living Dwemer left in the entirety of Tamriel, who he's kept alive just because why not?
Off rip, I'd probably put him in share a pint, because if we're having a DMC and he starts bringing up his clone wives, I'd get a bit grossed out.
His clone daughter wives.
His clone daughter wives, that would be the limit.
Cloned
for me.
himself
So
into a woman.
yeah.
married them.
If he starts bringing that up, I'd be, a bit put out. So I have a pint with him, then leave. I think
See, I was thinking DMC, but purely because this guy's lived for so long.
it's true. You could
And I
glean
know-
a lot of
Yeah.
insight from him.
I could just get over the creepy shit, because some people that live a long time, it's like old people when they're they're a bit racist, but that's just because
I don't interact.
It's just because of times back in the day.
I do
I
fuck
don't
with.
really interact that.
Everyone
with many
used to have
old
clone
people
wives, daughters.
I do fuck with the concept of like
Fucking
being able
your
to
child,
ascend.
daughter, wife.
No, if you let me finish, okay. I do like the concept of being able to ascend to
There you
godhood
go.
or immortality, but just choosing not to because you
No,
can't
he
be
did.
asked.
He didn't have the. He couldn't have done it.
He could have
but-
done it. Okay,
He could be immortal in general, and he just doesn't.
he just doesn't want to. I still
He just
yeah.
ages super slowly because of his magic.
Okay.
Well, I'm good with either pint or DMC. I wouldn't go above that.
I'll have a DMC.
I'll have
I
a-
want to
I'll-
learn some information from this man.
Alright, I'll have a DMC, but a little asterisk to say that if he starts bringing up the wife daughter fucking, then I would probably just tell him
I'm
to
out.
tone it down
Yeah.
a little bit. I'd say there are people here, man, and if someone overhears
that shit out. Cut
if
that
someone
shit out.
overhears,
Yeah,
this,
tell me
they're
at the
gonna-
afters.
They're gonna yeah, and bring your daughter wife. That's not staying in.
In case he misses this, he said, "And bring your daughter wife."
Yes. Next, we have Faendal or Faendal. It's Faendal. That's how you pronounce
Yes,
it.
Faendal.
Faendal.
Fun game.
Faendal. Faendal is the kind of one of the starter followers you can get in the first village in Skyrim. His quest involves sabotaging his rival lover by sending a fake letter to Camilla, the sister of the Riverwood trader. He sends a very misogynistic letter framing his rival lover for it. And in return, he will follow you, he will train you in archery, and then give you back all the money that you paid him to train him in archery.
Oh,
and
it's
just
great.
create an infinite
That's
loop.
great.
Yeah, very useful follower, but his ethics can be questioned to a certain extent.
Are you guys Sven or Faendal helpers?
I'm a Faendal helper, bro.
Yeah.
You have to help Faendal, the training.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the main reason.
I'm just saying, the first time you play Skyrim, you might not be familiar with that. Do you go, I like Sven or I like Faendal? I mean, I always chose Faendal.
I was just
Right.
Faendal, but I also, because Sven's like mother or grandmother, she's really mean to you when you get into the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
when you get into the
I
when you
saw
get
a
into Riverwood.
dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I help Faendal, but then I also do marry Camilla Valerius anyway. So
Yeah, it's quite funny. It's
Yeah.
quite funny actually.
I just download a mod to marry the priest of Azura. Me personally.
there's got to be a cuck
I know.
mod.
I'd have a DMC with him.
I'd get shit faced with Faendal, to be honest.
Um,
After we successfully sabotage Sven, then we go get shit faced.
in Riverwood, I think I'd like to get.
And
I like to get
and-
shit faced in Riverwood. To be fair.
then we have an archery contest when we're shit faced.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine
And
with
he
me.
teaches me many things.
Ooh. So at the afters.
That sounded kind of sexual.
At
Oh,
the
he
afters,
did.
you mean? Yeah.
I meant about
No, he didn't.
archery.
He said shitface, so it's all good.
I'll get
There's
shit.
no implications.
I'll get shit faced with Faendal, but I will not have sex with him.
Okay, I see.
No, but he's only got eyes for
will-
Camilla, you know?
Yeah, I will
Okay.
ask his wife to marry me instead.
Next, we have, and I think it was so funny I included these two characters considering how many people I left out. But next we have Farkas, who is one of the twin brothers
Bro,
from the companions.
I would 100% take him to the afters, bro.
He is
Farkas would be
well
such a
known-
great time.
Well, let me finish. Hold on, let me finish my biography. Let me finish my biography. He's well known for being a werewolf, for being smelly. His fear of spiders is his sort of fighting trait. He hates the creepy cruelies, as he says. He's just a stand-up guy in general. I don't know what else I could say.
Isn't he the one that when you start the companions questline as well, they base everyone's just
They
like,
stick you with him.
Nobody wants to go on a mission with Farkas, but they send him.
Yeah.
Send you
They're like, oh, I'll go with fucking Farkas. I'm like, who cares?
And you can marry him as well.
Yeah, he's just very dumb and no one takes him seriously and he's afraid of spiders. Like, he's part of this super manly,
Yeah.
Viking group and he's just afraid of spiders.
What's that line where he's like, such and such is for the brains. I like to use my fists. He's just very aware that he's
Vilkas.
thick as shit. And
Yeah.
he's fine with
Yeah,
That's
that.
why we love him.
Afters
That's
works
why
for
we love
me
him.
here.
Yeah.
That's why we
great.
love him.
So we're taking it into the
Farkas to
afters.
the afters.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, next we have Hermaeus Mora, the god of sort of forbidden knowledge, secrets, all that kind of stuff. He's also well known for speaking really slowly. That's sort of his MO.
Why are you here?
Yeah, exactly. You understand. He just wants to know everything is sort of his thing. It's potentially, you could argue, he has some sort of future sight because of his connections to water and like symbolism in the Elder Scrolls. But basically, he's just the god of like being a bit of a nosy neighbor.
So for this one, it's either between, for me, getting shit-faced or sharing a pint, because it's either I share a pint with him and he speaks so slow I get bored, or I get shit-faced so I don't care that he's speaking slowly.
True.
And I can spend the whole night with him.
I
I
like
was
Depends how
going
much
to
I'm
say
drinking.
single pint because it might be the longest pint of your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
True.
that as well.
Yeah. I like the logistics of maybe trying to avoid eye contact because he's just got
But
so
he
many.
has so many
Yeah,
eyes,
that's what I mean.
yeah.
Like, that'd be quite entertaining. But I would happily share a single pint.
Like, Rufus, it's been so long.
Look at
since
me when
we
I'm talking
talked.
to you.
So yeah, Hermaeus and Morris were sharing a single, very long pint.
Yes.
Next, we have one of my favorites, Hircine, the Daedric Prince of the Hunt. His whole thing is he loves hunting, but you know, a lot of hunting gods, you know, they're always the hunter. Hircine is so cool because he also favors the hunted. He just likes the process in general. He will reward anyone who just shows bravery or sort of like willingness to never give up. He just loves the process of the hunt. In fact, his afterlife, if you kind of sway yourself to Hircine, is just a never-ending hunt. It's just your ghost and a bunch of other ghosts just hunting all day and night. And yeah, if you show bravery, even if you're being hunted, Hircine will favor you.
I really like that mission where you help that one werewolf basically escape being
Sinding.
hunted, and I've only done that mission once, I think, but that was really good. I really like that. I'm a Hircine
because-
fan. I think Out of the Afterlives, and we should probably rank the Afterlives. Actually, that's a great video idea.
That'll be
Out of the Afterlives. I don't think this is that bad. I think this is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of rate him. I do rate him. Maybe put him in shit-faced.
Yeah,
I
I think
get
shit-faced
shit-faced
is, was
with
going to say. Yeah.
You know, going to the afters of the Hircine, just running through the woods.
Yeah, that might be a bit. After a long night drinking, I don't want to get hunted.
That's not my kick. That's not my kick.
I don't want to get hunted.
Yeah, I see. Next we have Jyggalag. Are you aware of Jyggalag, Reese?
I kind of recognized the photo.
He was a DLC character in Oblivion.
I am not familiar with this at all.
Was he from Shivering Isles?
Yeah, he was from the Shivering Isles DLC.
Yeah.
This is the alter ego of you can say Sheogorath or Sheogorath. There's two ways to pronounce it. I'm going to say Sheogorath. Sheogorath is obviously the god of madness and chaos. Jyggalag is the exact opposite. He's the god of absolute order. in a sort of
Jangalang.
extremely fascist way. He just sort of turns everyone into mini Jyggalags, so it creates a kind of hive mind. In terms of aura, Jyggalag is so powerful that basically all the Daedric princes had to band together to take him down. And even then, they still couldn't beat him. They just turned him into Sheogorath. So, like, his power, even though he has so much power, he can't control it because he's crazy. So, yeah, every like few thousand years or whatever, Sheogorath turns back into Jyggalag. And that is what the Shivering Isles DLC is actually about.
Is he in his hive mind state when we meet him?
Well, he's just always about order. He just wants everything to be orderly. He's like the ultimate hall monitor.
I think maybe it sounds like he would only want to have a single pint. I feel
I don't know
like.
if he'd even drink.
Yeah, that's
I'm
actually.
not sure
so
I'd want to
true.
be around him.
Yeah, but I don't think he's like actively.
Well, actually, he sounds kind of authoritarian, so maybe it's this musketeer. Actually,
It's either Mustir or Voidliker for me.
do you know what
I'm happy
I
with
think?
either.
I think because he's so orderly, he's an absolute buzzkill. So if you were to go to a party and he was there, you'd think, "Oh, this is dead. Let's go."
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
I think
Mustir's
for
fine
me,
then.
that's the definition of musketeer.
Yeah, it'd be the same kind of thing with Delphine. If you avoid eye contact, he probably would just come over anyway.
And then he would also
Well,
turn,
yes.
he would also just turn you into himself or whatever. So.
Like,
Yeah.
are you consuming alcohol? Do you know that is forbidden? Okay, next. Wow, I really put a lot of stupid fucking Skyrim characters. Next, we have Ji'zargo.
Yeah, just
He is famous for asking you if you have mastered the expert level destruction spells. And if you have not, he mocks you and sort of just calls you a little bitch for doing so. He says Ji'zargo has no time for you is his famous phrase. And if you try explain to him that not everything has to be a competition, he says, "Oh, but you are wrong. the only reason you would say that is because you are winning. It's because you are losing so bad that you don't realize it. He is a very hyper-competitive, sort of just shit-eating cunt, if I'm being honest. He's just sort of just constantly talking shit for no reason. And it's like, bro, you're also a student here. Like, you're not like some grand mage.
This
you're
is
a fucking cat.
This is cover your drink for me.
I think it'd be kind of funny to get shit-faced with him.
Bro, I would definitely get
leaning-
shit-faced.
I'm
I know I can't
leaning- I'm leaning
swear, I would
towards
get shit-faced.
I'm saying
Okay.
get through those layers, you know, and just
Yeah, get
get
through those
to
layers.
get to the Ji'zargo underneath all the bravado.
Yeah, I love Ji'zargo. He's one of my favorite characters.
How is he one of your favorite characters?
I said before when we were talking about the Fallout show before that we started recording, I love characters who are just irredeemable and like not likable at all.
Fair enough.
Next, we have Lydia, your faithful companion. She is sworn to carry your burden. She's very sarcastic, but as sarcastic as she is also equally as loyal.
I think
Will she carry my hangover?
I-
That's the question.
Yeah.
If she won't, then I'll have a pint with her.
I think there are ethics to consider for taking them to afters. There's that power hierarchy differential there.
Power dynamic.
Power dynamic, thank you. But I think classic Nord woman, shit-faced.
Oh,
Nice.
fair play, fair play.
You gotta drink like a Nord, yeah.
That's what I mean. I want to go
Yeah.
drinking with a Nord woman.
I mean, yeah,
Get
when
shit-faced.
Shit face is good.
when in Skyrim,
We have Mayik the Liar,
Like
an
this
Easter
boy.
egg. An Easter egg character from Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Even though his name is Mike the Liar, he is known to tell the truth on occasion. It's sort of one of those situations where you can never tell if he's lying or not. He's also known to break the fourth wall. You can ask him about multiplayer features in the game. You can ask him about like why you can't pick up dead bodies in Oblivion or why there's no levitation spells in Oblivion. He's just sort of like a little troll character. He's often found in Oblivion just walking the same programmed route, and then he's also programmed so like once a day he will spend a whole hour looking for, I think it's like tweezers or something. And so if the only way to find Mike is to drop tweezers on the ground, and then like he'll come find you basically wherever you are on the map. It's a very strange character.
I think shit-faced because I feel like you need a little bit of like, you need a character like this to have like a proper good night, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you could then join in with his like compulsive lying and just fuck with people.
Well, do you ever, I think every time, or not every time, the last few times I've gone out drinking with Ethan,
You
we've
became-
switched
I am
names.
Mike the Liar.
We've switched names. I go,
Oh yeah, we have
yeah,
actually. We
yeah,
have,
we've
yeah.
gone around telling people that we are each other. So that's great.
Which is actually just not funny at all. when you
It's
think about
not
it.
funny, but when you're drunk,
It's an inside joke. It's inside joke
when
funny.
you're drunk and someone's
yeah.
like, "Oh, see you later, Ethan," and you go, "Yeah, see you later." That's the funniest shit in the world.
My name's not Ethan. My name's Rufus.
Got him. I lied to some stranger for some reason. There you go.
Oh. So we're getting shit faced with Mike.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, we're getting shit faced with a lot of characters. I like our energy.
So far, what does it say about us that so far we've avoided eye contact with someone who is seriously mentally ill?
It means we take care of ourselves. Next, we have Malacath, the god of the orcs. He was created by like this sort of, imagine like the elvish like number one god. And Boethiah, who we put taking to afters, ate that god and shit them out. That is the famous story. And Malacath was what came out of that shit. So it was the most like pure Aryan, elvish god you could imagine, and just got turned into shit. And Malacath was that shit. As
Rufus,
a piece of
when he says Aryan, just flash Almalexia on the screen really quickly.
Yeah, got it.
yeah, that's a good one.
Just really quickly.
As a piece of shit, so the elves that sort of follow Malacath supposedly wiped that shit on their faces, and they became orcs after they wiped the shit on their faces. So Malacath takes care of his little shit babies. He loves the orcs. He will challenge them every now and then. He doesn't like it when they don't follow his sort of orcish way of life. He thinks, you should live in the tribe, and don't join the other people and live a strong life and die in battle, all that kind of stuff. But overall, he's sort of just the father of all the orcs, and he likes to take care of them. He's a bit of a, obviously he's a piece of shit, but he takes care of his own.
I'd share a pint with him.
I think that's probably as far as I go.
Yeah, he seems like a bit of an oddball.
I'll probably share a pint and then get weirded out. So yeah, share a pint is probably...
Yeah.
I think share a pint is great. I don't think I want to have a DMC with this guy.
No.
Yeah.
He's probably got a lot of baggage, because he used to be,
Yeah.
I didn't say his name, he used to be Trinimac, like the best god ever.
Oh, and then he goes to just being a shit god.
Yeah, he's got a lot of insecurities.
Yeah, that's
Well, then
crazy.
he actually was a shit.
Yeah.
He is shit. He just literally is shit. Next, we have, let me see. That is Martin Septim. Sean Bean, right? That's
Yeah, Sean Bean.
That is Sean Bean, the son of Uriel Septim. Sort of like the main character of Oblivion, to be honest. You're not really the main character, it's Martin. He is the illegitimate son of the Emperor. He lived his life as a modest monk, and sort of this whole adventure is thrust upon him. And in the end, he sacrifices himself to save Tamriel.
Spoilers, bro. Spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
I've not
Spoilers
played
for
Oblivion.
2006 game? Came out
I
2006.
can't lie. He is kind of boring.
He is a little bit
kind of boring. So I would probably avoid eye contact.
Really?
And he's a monk. He's a monk as well. He's a monk.
Yeah, and I mean he's not gonna have a pint.
Yeah, but
So
maybe monks can know how to throw it down.
what would you do? Take him to afters? Get shit faced?
No, I don't mean I don't want to have sex with him.
You're
Take
the
him
only
to
one.
afters. Doesn't
Doesn't
necessarily-
have to mean
it
just
doesn't
have
have
sex.
to mean sex, bro.
It can be
potential
sex,
for
doesn't
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
But,
I don't
You
want
know,
there
it
to
could be some
any-
drug
I
taking.
don't want there to be
You
any
stay up late
potential.
with them.
Do you go to afters and just fuck everyone?
No, I don't go to afters. I'm like 27,
Oh, I see.
bro.
That's why.
Fine. I don't want to take him to afters. I don't know if I want to get shit faced with the guy, but
I'm happy to put him.
illegitimate son of the emperor. That's kind of crazy. I kind of want to hear about that. I could
You
have.
can
I
do that
could
over
have
a
it. I
pint.
could
I
have a
just don't wanna-
DMC.
I don't want him to get too deep, you know, because he is kind of boring.
Start talking about Christ, you know?
yeah.
Point for me. You did mention religion there.
Oh, sorry, Akatosh.
I was gonna say if he
Akatosh,
starts.
not
I mean, if he
Christ.
started talking about Abrahamic God, I might be a little bit like yeesh. But if he was to talk about the pantheon, I'd be like pretty interested. But I will go with the majority on this and have a single pint.
Is that what we all said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So next is Mehrunes Dagon. The god of destruction. The Daedric Prince of Destruction is his thing. He's the main villain of Oblivion, and you know what? Despite his appearance and sort of how he's known for destruction and just killing everything, he was actually created as a god of like rebellion, sort of, you know, like being the underdog and fighting against the authority. But unfortunately, that just turned into straight anarchy because it just meant he always wanted to destroy anything that was ever set up. In the Khajiit pantheon, he is known as like a kitten. That is how he's described.
What?
Because the idea is that like imagine like a 600-foot tall kitten just like rolling around destroying everything is sort of the imagery, especially because, like I said, he was created by sort of the Magna Gi. So he's like a young Daedric prince and he just destroys everything. That is...
He's a toddler. He's just a toddler. He's in a terrible
Yeah.
twos.
So nothing against him, but
Well,
must
even better, he's
do.
like a teenager. Like he just hates like
Oh,
authority.
he's edgy. He's an edgy teen.
Yeah.
All right.
I think,
I don't know.
I think nothing.
I'd probably take him to the afters. Just see what happens.
Yeah,
you know?
complete opposites there.
Yeah.
Watch
see
him
what
fuck
happens.
everything up.
I was like, if I see him, I'll probably just walk away. Nothing against him. I'm just like, nah.
If someone claims the orcs, he will kill them.
I would avoid eye contact.
Must tier for me. I'm happy to negotiate.
I would
Whatever instincts.
do avoid eye contact because I don't think it'd be too bad to be in his general presence. Like it might be interesting to see him kick off as a spectator, not like I'm gonna join in or egg him on, you know. So I'd avoid eye
Okay,
contact.
well,
don't
yeah,
think
I
I'm-
guess I've got to concede then.
I don't think
Concede.
I'm not. I don't think we're in any danger of him messing with our drinks.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
That's too
So
small scale for him.
avoid eye contact.
Mehrunes
Yeah.
Dagon, avoid eye contact.
Next, we have Mephala, whose domain is unknown. Ooh, it's unknown. We do know it, but it's just never officially said.
Oh.
It's basically, she's sort of just the Daedric Prince of like secrets, murder, secret murder, secret sex, a lot of things. Mephala's also, I should use like Z pronouns because Mephala isn't, Z is explicitly male and female at the exact same time. She has both genitals. So he can just have sex with anyone that needs to at like that exact moment because he's just a total slut. You know what I mean?
I've always got the right tool for the job attitude.
So yeah, so
Got it.
like prostitutes, assassins, spies, all sort of will be part of Mephala's domain. And Boethiah's, there is some overlap between Mephala and Boethiah. That's why they are both. So the three gods of Morrowind are Azura, Boethiah, and Mephala. Remember how I said Boethiah ate Trinimac and turned him into a piece of shit?
Yeah.
Many tellings of that story say that Mephala actually helped Boethiah out and sort of distracted Trinimac so that Boethiah could just eat him and turn him into a piece of shit. So yeah, Mephala, sex, secret sex, secret murders. And here's the kicker. Many people theorize Mephala to be the Night Mother in disguise.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a very prominent theory, and that Z is controlling the Dark Brotherhood by pretending to be the Night Mother.
Sounds like the party realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would probably have a DMC. I want to know what's
going on,
going
yeah.
on.
Well, he probably wouldn't even reveal anything to you because he needs to keep the secrets.
I see. So maybe
So we got
one-sided
we have to push it one step further.
We have to get them shit-faced.
Yeah.
I'm down.
See what we can unlock. Yeah,
And Z is like a big, sexy spider woman sometimes.
fuck with that.
Black Arachnia.
Yeah, I think I just need to just put that in there for James,
Thanks.
so he's aware.
James
Next,
didn't
we
understand
have-
any of what you said until you said big sexy
Yeah.
spider
So I'm
person.
locked in.
Because they're known as the weaver of secrets, you know, that kind of thing.
Ah, yes.
Next, we have Meridia. Can anyone give me the famous Meridia quote?
Boo.
Was it the
Can we
beacon?
can we get an ad read?
Is
for
this
the
the
Meridia
is this
beacon?
the hear me and listen well?
Yeah. A new hand touches the beacon. Meridia is known as the most Adric Daedra. She was like a daughter of like the Magna Gi, part of like the stars, and she was cast down. Despite that, her lore's gotten a lot more interesting than just being like the angel figure, because she hates the undead, which is at first like, oh, she hates the undead, she's nice, but she actually just turns living people into what is basically just the undead. Like, they're just hollowed zombies who she controls, but they're not technically undead, so she's like, don't worry, it's totally different. Like, don't worry. So, yeah, I mean, technically nice because she kills undead, but at the same time, like, she is a bit of a freak. You know,
She's kind of a scam artist.
She's got some daddy issues too, because she got cast out by her father.
Damn.
I feel like she'd be hilarious to get shit faced.
Nah, I'd take her to afters, mate.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
I would take her to afters.
You touch her beacon.
Yeah, she could make me. She could make me undead any day.
All right. In
It's
which
crazy.
case, I will facilitate Reese. I'm wingmanning Reese at the afters. So there we go.
Yeah, well, I'm talking
You know
to
what,
Boethiah,
actually?
so
I'm liking that we're painting a picture and like all these people are going to be at the afters at the same time.
yeah.
Just
I'm talking to Boethiah.
Yeah, we're going to have all these
Farkas is
deities.
going to be having a great time.
Yeah, we're going to have all these deities and like Daedric princes and,
And
there's just
just
fucking Farkas. He's like, I don't get paid to think much. I thank God Mephala wasn't at the afters. Farkas would have been spooked. That would have been awful. Next, we have Molag Bal, the Daedric prince of forcing yourself onto people. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it.
Wow.
It's domination, but really it's more just the big R. Let's call it
That's just we understand.
he created all vampires. He creates vampires by, of course, people. They become vampires. Yeah, that's sort of his whole thing, to be honest. Just domination and forcing himself onto people and torturing them.
I think this is a pretty easy must here.
Yeah. His arch nemesis, I should say, is Boethiah, because obviously Boethiah, they're all about rebellion. Molag Bal is all about domination, so those two really don't get along.
Yeah, I think must here is fine for me here.
And so not woke, Todd.
Not woke.
Hashtag not woke. Musketeer. I would leave.
You
The
wouldn't
party.
just cover your drink?
No, I would leave the party.
No.
I'm not gonna let him ruin my time. Then you let him win.
That's how the
Yeah, I mean, maybe you
win.
want Boethiah there to stop him.
Yeah, they would immediately start fighting, to be fair. Next, we have Namira. Namira's a strange one. She's sort of just the Daedric prince of like gross stuff in a way. Just sort of gross stuff. Also cannibalism, I suppose, is the main
Pretty gross.
Namira thing. Because in the Skyrim quest, you get the ring that allows you to eat people.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. So when I say gross stuff, I should be more specific. It's usually just like slugs, you know, stuff like that. Just like gross animals, death, decay.
Is this the same one as the god of like? You find that one Khajiit who's just making up that nasty potion that is just like.
That's a different one.
I thought that might be different. I thought never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we will. That's a very similar. It's a very similar thing.
Yeah.
So that's
Is he
not
like,
ridiculous.
is he like just like the typical sort of Warhammer-esque like rot and decay and
Yeah,
That's
and
a
just like
noble,
nastiness.
mate, Warhammer.
yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah. Think about it of decay and then like gross animals basically is a thing,
Yeah.
and cannibalism. Cannibalism is a big part of it. Is there anything? I don't think there's much I can really add to that. There's not a huge amount of like expansion on her lore.
I mean, I feel like
It's just gonna be kind of gross.
I
I don't
feel like
really
you
want
can't
her
help,
around.
but I also feel like you can't help your worships you or whatever like that. So it's either must or cover your drink.
I think cover your drink. I think it's exclusionary.
I don't know if I'd
to
walk out
like,
instantly.
I think it's exclusionary to be like, ugh, you're stinky, I'm leaving. Like, I think that's rude. I would just maybe cover my drink. So like,
Yeah, especially if Farkas is at the afters, bro.
If she's munching on a human leg when I walked in, then yeah, I'd walk out. But if she's being civil, then
yeah, okay, I'll go for cover your drink.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Just cover your drink, so yeah, no slugs get in there.
Yeah.
Slug beer.
Oh my boy.
Next we have, and I had to get a picture of him in his classic pose that he's always sitting at that same fucking
Sitting
table.
at the same table, yeah, the bench.
Eating a piece of fucking bread or whatever. Nazir, who I'm gonna be honest is just some random guy in the Dark Brotherhood who gives you missions, and whenever you like tell him how you kill people, he always just gives like some weird fucked up joke about like murder.
Yeah.
Like, you'll just kill, like, some mentally disabled man who lost his sister and lived by himself. And Namir just gives, like, a really bad pun about it and then just, like, looks at you like it's funny. He's kind of a piece of shit, to be honest.
One of your first contracts where you just kill that homeless guy outside of...
That's exactly what I was saying. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, well, nobody will miss him.
Yeah, I think it's like...
okay.
I can't remember his name. I think it's like Nafi or something.
Yeah.
He always refers to himself in the third person. But yeah, Nazir, if you're like an evil character, he's like really funny. But if you're like, just like, maybe you're just infiltrating the Dark Brotherhood and you're doing something you don't want to do, he could be a little bit off-putting.
I mean, his voice is smooth as hell, though.
Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah,
is quite
definitely.
smooth.
I could listen to him. I could fall asleep to his voice, you know? So for that reason, I would have a DMC with him.
Oh, I think I'd take him to the
Ooh.
afters, but never mind.
I thought you were going to say that too.
You take him to the afters.
No, I thought you were
know
going to
what?
say that. You brought
Oh,
up
okay.
you
Okay.
brought up bedtime, and I was like, that's afters talk, that is.
I'll have a DMC with him.
I need to tell some funny
I was going to
jokes.
say, but it's a DMC, but he's just going to tell you really awful murders he's done.
That's actually
You-
true,
you
yeah.
wanna
Maybe
listen
we,
to
should,
his-
maybe we should just get shit-faced.
But, you know, I mean, murder stories can be interesting, you know?
yeah,
I know, but I
like his voice as well. Listen to his sultry voice.
I think I would have to get shit-faced to hear that.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll take a good
Shit-faced is
shit-faced.
fine.
Shit-faced to have a DMC.
Let's go with Nocturnal. So she's the patron god of like thieves, is sort of the way to imagine it. She's very much into contracts, similar to Clavicus Vile, but her contracts are a bit more fair. She sort of looks upon anyone who just like poor people, you know what I mean? People who end up becoming thieves. Obviously, Khajiits love her, not to be racist, but Khajiits are thieves. She's often seen with crows and with an open top, and that is very nice to look at in Skyrim.
Well, I think I know where Ethan would put this based on that.
I'd put
I'd
DMC.
have a
I'd DMC.
DMC. Yeah. I'd be
Yeah.
interested about what she has to say, and maybe if she gives me a nice deal.
Yeah, she's associated with luck in a sense, like because being a thief, you rely on luck a lot,
Yeah,
like
sure.
if a floorboard will creak or not. So she tends to like increase the luck of thieves, is sort of her thing. Excellent. We have two dragons that are right next to each other. That is very funny. So first we have. This is weird that I included these two, but not Alduin. But whatever. Let's not talk about that. We have Odahviing, who is sort of characterized as a very young, boisterous dragon who's just looking for a fight, basically. And he's so, eager for a fight that if you just say his name out loud, he will come and kill you. Yeah, that is his thing. If you shout his name out loud, he will come to fight you. And if you beat him, he will do what you say and let you ride him. So let's just say this dragon
Okay.
manages to fit in the bar.
Have we defeated him already at this point or not?
Let's say no.
So we have no-
I'm not
we have no
sure.
relationship
I
with
feel
Odahviing.
like if we get to the point where like we're getting shit faced, I might say his name by accident, and then he might kill me.
I think
And like,
I could
especially if I'm shit
myself.
faced, I'm definitely not capable of
I
fighting.
could compose myself for a single pint and not say his name.
Yeah, but like you
See,
guys,
I
you
still
guys-
think I might slip up.
Yeah, but you
I
guys-
still think I
Why
might
you
slip
like
up.
contact?
Are you guys framing this as if you're the dragon board? Like, I think you could just say his name and he won't attack you. Like, it's a Thum, right?
Yeah, you gotta say it as like a Thum.
Yeah.
In like the dragon language, basically.
Yeah,
Okay,
but that's
I
just
just-
saying
I-
it with an accent, no?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you gotta say it as. You gotta say it in the right.
Yeah, well, I'll
cadence.
stand by
Imagine
the
being a
pint
grey
name because
beard
then
and just
I'm.
like practicing this forever, and you could just say dragon with like words with an accent, basically the same
I-
thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
won't
just
fuck
be
up.
like Fusodar.
I won't fuck up if I have a I'm just having a pint.
See, I feel like I still might. I would avoid eye contact.
Fair enough. I'm fine with that as well.
I think I'd
Down below.
avoid eye contact. That's solid.
I'm just imagining him like with his long dragon neck, just like arcing over me and then looking at me, even if I'm trying to
Like
not
a
look at him.
giraffe.
Yeah,
Okay. Next we have Paarthurnax.
my goat.
Who was basically Alduin's right hand man, sort of like the Himmler of the operation. Just sort of helped him enslave the entire world. But then one day was like, actually, you know what? I kind of mess with humans. Humans are cool. I'm gonna help their side, and turned on Alduin. And after that, he just sort of went like Sigma mode, just sort of stayed on his mountain for years, meditating, studying in his war room of sorts, and eventually helping the Dragonborn unlock his Sigma energy.
He ate a lot of red meat as well on wooden
Yeah,
cutting boards and
exactly.
stuff like that.
Oh, and
and
obviously he helped set up the Greybeards. That's like
He's
important.
like the stoic.
Which is another gang of
The
men
stoic
who
geezer.
just like live alone on a mountain eating red meat.
Yeah,
and
he's like
not
the stoic
talking.
guy.
Exactly.
I do love a redemption arc.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like
do love
redemption
redemption
arc
arc.
from like Nazi to not a Nazi. I don't know.
Maybe we have a DMC with him.
I think
Yeah, but I guess he went from like not a Nazi to like actively combating the Nazis.
Do you know, I think actually to say Nazi is unfair because I think it's very much
Yeah.
implied that it's dragons' innate nature, isn't it, to do this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
if
Like
that's
world domination.
if that's in your genetics, right? And
You can't help
you
it.
go against your genetics, then that's enlightenment. So potentially,
Yeah.
why'd I get shit faced with him? That's not gonna do anything for me except embarrass me in front of this guy. I would have a DMC.
Have a
Yeah,
DMC.
you want to keep your cool. You want to
Yeah,
keep your
man.
cool.
I like.
brother.
Yeah,
I
I
respect
go
him,
for
bro.
DMC.
I respect him, bro. I think if I got
You don't want
shit-faced-
Paarthurnax to think you're a lightweight.
Yeah, or just like this guy just gets drunk. Like, no, I'm wise like you, right? Tell me wise things. I'd have a
Yeah, DMC.
Dog lucky must undude mahu, and you're like, yeah, facts, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
Spit your shit.
Yeah. Pelinal White Strake. This is sort of a very infamous. This is like a very like meme figure in Elder Scrolls lore. He's sort of like, the idea is he's a Shezarine, which it basically just means you're the main character. Almost like you're an aspect of Shazar, who is related to Talos, like he's the god of man, you know what I mean? He's just like a very, very racist figure. He's just sort of this guy who hates elves and just goes around the world killing anything that is an elf or looks like an elf or kind of says the word elf to him. He is potentially a cyborg. That's something that's mentioned a lot. He kind of slaughters armies by himself. He just goes on like completely mad rampages across the whole country until eventually like he just dies of his own, like he just gets tired basically and just dies. There's many stories. There's no way I can go over all of them, but yeah, he's sort of this legendary figure who just went around the whole country just killing a bunch of elves. In terms of like for a Nord, he's like the most based person ever. You know what I mean? Yeah, every Nord is like, I'm literally Pelinal White Streak. Like
I was a
So
fan.
he's
I was a
in
fan of
series.
him before you were a fan of him. Like,
yeah. He's literally me.
Maybe just the pint because I'm a
Pint?
little bit scared about where the DMC will go.
I'll pop a pint there.
Like-
Yeah.
He might just start bashing elves, and then like if there's some elves in the pub, then we're gonna have a problem.
yeah, I mean, you won't have to back him, but he might ask you to back him.
Yeah, it's a pint. Not that's not like too friendly, but let's hear what he's got to say.
Pinting out.
Okay, excellent. So next we have the one Rufus was talking about before, Periite.
Yeah.
Periite is sort of the god of like diseases, is a way of thinking about it, which sounds gross, but like, so he's like infection and pestilence, but it's seen as sort of a good thing. Like he's sort of the caretaker of Mundus, of the world. All these like diseases and bacteria and stuff, they take care of all like the things that need to be taken care of. In a way, like he cleans up the mess, he culls the masses, the wheat in a way, like how rats eat up dead bodies, that's sort of how it is, which is why rats are also part of his domain, or skeevers, I should say. Skeevers are part of his domain. All skeevers and diseases and pestilence just sort of are thought of like blessings of Periite, where it's like he's chosen you to sort of bring balance to the world. That's kind of his thing. And he's a dragon, which is also important to know.
I am concerned about getting too close and
I was
catching,
gonna say I'd
catching
probably just avoid
something-
eye contact.
Catching something.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like avoiding eye contact might not be enough.
I think maybe cover your. Well, I don't know. Would you go cast your minds back 3 years ago? Your mate, who you know has COVID, is going out to a pub and he's inviting you out. Do you go out with that mate?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, probably. I probably would.
Damn.
But, like-
Yeah, cover your drink then.
Then I get COVID and I get off work. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but also COVID's not like that serious for us.
But think about like 3-4 years ago. Like
and think about like this guy has like mega COVID.
mega COVID mixed with other stuff.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying I don't want to be near this guy, Big No.
Yeah. Okay.
Like this guy's way worse. That's why I wouldn't even want to be near him. Like,
So cover your drink or mask?
I'd probably put him in mask.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I would walk in, see that guy, and go, "That's a walking sewage plant. I'm out.
He's like,
Just like, I don't wanna die.
"Bleh,
I don't want to
yeah,
die.
he's known as like the Prince of Vomit as well. I didn't mention that. Like, the bountiful vomit or whatever the hell. Okay, next we have arguably the reason why I made this tier list. We have Sanguine. He is I can't even. He's just he's the prince of boozing, to be honest. He's just the prince.
He's taking
He's
us
the
to
prince of
afters.
getting
He's
your
taking
drink
us to
on.
afters.
Yeah, there's only one place.
Yeah, he's hosting the afters.
He
Yeah,
is
only
definitely
one
hosting
place to put
afters.
this guy.
There's
I
put him up
will.
there.
Well, let me
Put
just
it-
say
put it
this.
at
Let
top,
me
put it at
give some extra detail. He's like a Dionysus sort of figure. There is like a level of like blood orgies under his domain, that kind of stuff. He's sort of like the depravity, like the base desires, and I think that's most represented by his Khajiit counterpart, because the Khajiit are always like the Khajiit way of life is all about following the path. That's everything you do is you have to follow the path. You follow the path as a Khajiit. To stray away from the path is explicitly linked to Sanguine. Oh yeah, if you stray from the path, you are like following Sanguine, because and for Khajiits, straying away from the path means like going back to your more animalistic instincts, you know, like just like killing random rats because you're hungry kind of stuff. And so it's represented in different ways, but yeah, Sanguine represents your base desires, like your base drives, whether that be just getting shit-faced or it just be the occasional blood orgy. That's sort of his thing.
Yeah, take him to afters. See what he gets out of me.
He's pretty fun in Skyrim.
Yeah, see what primal desires awaken in myself.
You marry a Hargraven. What's the chances of me marrying a Hargraven?
I mean, I don't know. It all depends. Yeah, nobody could predict what Sanguine is gonna do.
So you're not saying it's 0.
It's definitely not zero.
Then I'm going to afters. I roll the dice.
I'm rolling the dice, bro. I'm rolling the dice.
I'm rolling the
100%.
dice.
He's gonna be a good time regardless.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you wake up
yeah.
in the morning.
Handcuffed.
Shit to deal with.
Handcuffed to
Just
a
remember the
goat.
good night you had.
Yeah.
Next, we have Sheogorath, who is the Dionysus comparison times a million. He's just the god of straight insanity. I really like in Shivering Isles, there's a focus on sort of mental illness as well. Like, because obviously insanity can just in media and fiction be like crazy. But no, they really go into detail about like his mental illnesses and like how he claims the mentally ill, you know, like he takes care. He's the patron saint of people who are mentally ill. He will take care of them. He will also feed their delusions, obviously, but he will take care of the mentally ill in his own special way. But yeah, there's no way to predict what he's going to do. He famously just threw a meteor at a city in Morrowind for fun, just for no reason. Just like, in fact, almost any story in Elder Scrolls lore, there's a version of it where one of the gods is replaced by Jyggalag because Sheogorath, because he doesn't need a motivation to do anything. Therefore, technically, any story could have just been him instead of another god. Yeah, it was like, it was Boethiah, but also it could have been Sheogorath because like he can do anything. Like he is just
definitely a wild card of the night.
Yeah,
Wild
he
cards.
is a complete wild card.
We've already put one mentally ill man in avoiding eye contact.
Oh, we put another one then.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Go 2 for 2.
What does this say about us?
Would you leave your drink uncovered around him?
Oh,
That is a
that's
good point. I
fantastic
think cover
mean,
your
point.
drink.
That is a fantastic
Would you
point.
really want to be there? Would you really want to be there?
Listen, there's other gods there to
mean-
temper him.
You got a witness. You got a witness. what he's
I
up to.
don't. I think these people are bad or gross. I don't think that about Sheogorath necessarily.
No, but he's just so unpredictable
Yeah.
because of his insanity.
I think cover your drink is a safe bet here,
Cover your drink. It could be fun to watch him do stuff.
but you probably stay away from him.
But I would cover my drink and maybe like stay on the other side of the room if I could. You know.
Move to the other side of the pub.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have one of my favorite characters in the Elder Scrolls, Sotha Sil. So he is sort of the I forgot the word, but not descendant, but he replaces Azura. In terms of, because he's part of the tribunal of Morrowind. He's known as the clockwork god because he's just sort of slowly, he's not a mage, he is like he's a true engineer. He sort of replaces all of his body parts with mechanical pieces. So he's a robot god, basically. He sort of just becomes Iron Man as a god. It's very, very cool. And when I say Iron Man, I just literally mean an Iron Man. Like,
Oh, I thought we were gonna.
like he has the propulsor jets and stuff, but there's no human. There's like, you can see his skull, but that's about it with the brain inside. It's very, very cool. He's also, he was the main motivator behind the tribunal becoming gods. He was like, listen, the old gods suck. Our time, we need to take care of our people because we need to take an active stance. And he basically said Azura to her face, and Azura is not someone to insult, but he was like, fuck off. We're going to be gods now.
Sounds kinda
Obviously,
lit.
Yeah, Almalexia spends a lot of time with the people of Morrowind. She's like really in their society because she's Mother Morrowind. Sotha Sil is quite the opposite, where he is always in his clockwork city, like devising new mechanics. But at the same time, as you can see, Almalexia has yellow skin. She has the same skin color as High Elves, whereas Sotha Sil has grey skin like the Dark Elves, because when the Dark Elves got cursed, Sotha Sil allowed himself to also be cursed, because he was like, I'm gonna, in sort of solidarity with my people, I will bear the curse they cursed. It is ultimately his fault. They were cursed because of the tribunal taking over. It's like Sotha Sil, he's further away, but like he's actually helping Morrowind a lot more, just in ways that aren't obvious. Like he's not always with them, but like he actually cares a lot more than Almalexia. He's sort of like, he's a bit Sigma, I'm gonna be honest. He's sort of like a Sigma incel god, but in a cool way, in my opinion.
I'd have a pint with him. I want to hear his story.
Yeah,
Seems like an interesting bloke.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to get too in depth to the.
No,
I don't.
not
I don't.
too
I
much.
don't.
You don't want him to stop
know.
mansplaining.
I don't know too much about this guy, but like he seems like on a surface level, I'd be like, oh, that's quite interesting. What's that?
I don't want him to ask me if like I want to see his brain. You know.
Yeah, or God forbid he just in a bar or something, just like have a look at this and like
He just tips his hat and then you just see his bare brain.
Yeah. I'd have a pint.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just
I
a
agree.
pint.
After that, we have Tiber Septim, the man who supposedly ascended to become Talos.
Talos.
It's sort of kind of confirmed, soft confirmed, that he was actually born a Breton, and sort of through a lot of shenanigans with Ysgramor and the Underking and stuff, sort of frauded his way into becoming the Emperor. As the Emperor, he committed a small, you could call it a small sort of conquest, colonization of sorts, where he unified the entirety of Tamriel, subjugated a lot of countries under his rule, and after that became Talos. So a controversial figure if you're not a human.
I'll have a DMC. I want to hear about his life,
Yeah,
And
I agree.
I imagine it would have to be pretty in depth. Unifying all of Tamriel seems like a lot of work.
I think as well as a human, I would maybe want to know a little bit more about the guy in case I decide, you know what, I'm gonna like live my life by your doctrine. And
You know what? I'm going to worship Talos.
yeah, before I worship you, I want to know whether or not you got the right stuff. Maybe yeah.
So we
that's
put
fine.
him.
I'll have a DMC.
DMC.
Next, we have Ulfric Stormcloak. The leader of the Stormcloak Rebellion. He wants a free Skyrim. That's his whole thing. He wants to remove himself from the dying empire, and he will do so by any means necessary. He's a little bit self-centered, obviously. The movement is named after him. He murdered the High King Torrig. Some say it was a fair 1v1. Others say he was like 17 years old. Also, you used the Thu'um, so it's not fair. It's a matter of great debate, but Ulfric hates the Thalmor, hates the Empire, loves me Skyrim. That's sort of his thing.
Bit of a Farage, not to get political again. I
don't know. He's a bit serious. He's a bit self-centered. I'm not sure I'm down.
He's a
with that.
narcissist.
Yeah.
I don't have time for it, man. I don't have time.
No,
for
neither. Yeah,
But I also don't think he's going to do anything too crazy, so I would avoid eye contact.
I don't know. I think if I walked into a bar and I was like, "Oh, fucking Ulfric's here," like
You would just
You
say
just stay
ignore
away
him.
from
But
him.
but like
Avoid
how
eye
much?
contact.
But if he's got like people around him, like Galmar, and they're all just like talking about how great Ulfric is,
Galmar Stonefish.
and I'm just like, oh, I fucking hate this guy and all his friends. I don't know. I mean,
Just go to
I'll
another
avoid eye
bar.
contact, but I want you to know I would just walk out. I would just leave.
Okay, next we have Reese's favorite. We
Yeah,
have Uriel
buddy.
Septim. He spent some time, I believe. Yeah, he spent some time in Oblivion, is my understanding. So he's sort of very in touch with his mystic self. He can see the future in his dreams, he's just a very mystic guy. Kind of the best emperor since Tiber Septim himself is the idea. But as part of his future sight, he can sort of see that the empire is going to die after him. He can see that the empire is fading. So he's a very solemn man. He sort of accepted his fate. And yeah, I don't know. He's just kind of the goat. He frees you from prison at the beginning of Oblivion. That's sort of his big thing. Because he goes,
Because he's.
I know
seen
you. Yeah, you're the one from my dreams. And then he sets you free. And he's also voiced by Captain Picard.
Yeah, I would take him to the afters, bro. I want to see what he's about.
Steal for the afters.
Yeah, man. Sees the future. That sounds great.
He's like, I dreamed of this after.
You were
had a great
definitely-
time.
Did you dream of this line, Uriel?
Yeah.
You were gonna take. You were gonna take time. Oh, that's so crazy. That is so crazy.
He's like,
Was
are we
that cat?
dreaming
Was
after
that
it?
cat in your dreams? Yeah. Next, we have, speaking of dreams, actually, Vermina, the Daedric Prince of Dreams. Vermina, once again, not greatly expanded lore. If I was gonna theorize, go off my own sort of headcanon, I would also classify her as the Daedric Prince of like fear. you know, like phobias, stuff like that. But not much to say though, just sort of the Daedric Prince of like fear and dreams and scary dreams and stuff like that.
I don't like scary dreams.
Neither do I.
Yeah, nobody really likes scary dreams.
It's probably Musk.
I was gonna say eye
You reckon?
contact. I was gonna say eye contact.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're different eye contact's fine.
Okay, next, I still don't know why they're in it. Next we have Vilkas, Farkas's brother, a bit more serious, a bit more, smart. But he's also, if you remember, when to join the companions, you have to fight Vilkas.
Yeah.
And you sort of just beat the ever-loving shit out of him. And you walk in on Aiella and Skjor laughing about it. And then when they see you, they're like, oh, you're the one who beat the fuck out of Vilkas, huh? Like, everyone in the companions knows about it. Vilkas is just like, I let him win. But yeah, a stand-up guy overall, very loyal.
I'm in two minds about this, right? I would like to take Vilkas to afters, but I think I'd also enjoy Farkas's company more if Vilkas wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I'm kind of like get shit faced.
Either that or have a DMC. Like, you give him time of day and you can chat to him.
But like I'm friends with your brother more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just know I would be, you know. I feel like I'd vibe with Farkas more.
Yeah, shit faced or DMC.
I'll go shit faced. I wouldn't mind getting shit faced with Vilkas. You know?
I mean, I think all the companions I'd get shit faced with.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Aiella? Where's Aiella?
Ailla's not on this list.
Afters.
I know who's next from Ethan talking about it.
Oh
so
my
much.
god.
Who is this?
It's Vivek.
Yeah, this is Vivek, the third member of the tribunal. He sort of replaced Mephala. So because of that, Vivek is sort of also, his domain falls under like sex, secret sex, lies, secret murder, all that stuff, which makes sense because the tribunal comes from secret murder. As you can see by his design, so obviously Almalexia kept her skin yellow. Sotha Sil allowed his to turn blue. Vivek did a little bit of both because he's sort of a contradictory figure. He can't make up his mind on anything. He's even known as Vivek the warrior poet. So it's like he's both a warrior and a poet. After becoming a god, he basically created his own Bible where he rewrote his whole life. Where he's like, yeah, actually, I'm the best. And I was always a god. I was never a human. I'm the best. But once again, because it's Vivek, everything is a dichotomy, everything's a contradiction. So because he's a god, the fact that he wrote it actually makes it true, technically. So he sort of rewrote his own history.
To be true. And it became true.
And obviously the subtext of that is he rewrote his own trauma, because he used to be a prostitute before he was a god. Or before he even met anyone, like met Nerevar, met any of these people. So he sort of rewrote his own sexual trauma and stuff. Okay. Oh, I also forgot, he's also a hermaphrodite. He has both genitals. They use he, him pronouns. Some people say you should use Zir for Vivek. I don't really have an opinion on that because the game uses he, him. But yeah, also a hermaphrodite. So just a bit of a slut, a bit of a murderer.
With god level, and a god.
Yeah, and
also with
god level abilities.
God level indecisiveness.
Yeah.
Like.
I should really mention the narcissism, like the self-absorbing. Like he wrote his own Bible. When Sheogorath threw a meteor on the city of Vivek, which he named after himself, he stopped the meteor, but then he also maintained he stored the kinetic energy of the meteor. It was still falling. He just temporarily halted it. And when someone was like, Vivek, what the fuck? Why did you do that? He was like, because the meteor shall stay up for as long as your love and me, maintained.
Crazy.
So basically, keep glazing me or you all die.
Wow.
I would like to put him in Musk tier.
What?
Mainly because, the last thing that Ethan said, and also his indecisiveness. Imagine how long, if you were there to have a drink with him, imagine how long he'd take deciding on what he wanted to drink.
Be like, I want a rum and coke, but at the same time, I don't want a rum and coke.
Yeah.
So
I'm in both.
To decipher my thoughts further.
Yes, I'm in both decisions.
I must write
equally.
about this.
Yes.
based on that, yeah, 100%.
Listen,
I
it's
agree.
you've also either got to do like Musk tier where you walk out, or you have to take him to the altars. Because
oh my god, I forgot another thing. I told he had sex with Molag Bal too, and had a bunch of babies with Molag Bal.
So S.
And then so his spear, the spear of bitter mercy, is like also his penis. So he killed all of his children with the spear. Which is like a metaphor for both murdering and having sex with his children at the same time. It's like a metaphor.
Musk.
Yeah, okay, Musk is a good choice then.
Yeah.
Lovely. And by
fun.
the way, when I said he had sex with Molag Bal, he Molag Bal.
I thought not the other way around.
No, he Molag Bal. First of all, what are our takes on this last character, just off the road?
He looks like
a bit
he looks
rotund.
like a chill guy.
He looks like the spider baby head thing from Toy Story 1.
Yeah, he does.
If you had to guess his name, what would you guess his name is?
Fat spider.
Porky.
Though sure the Paunted.
Poor Porky.
Okay. Porky. His name is Yagrum Bagon.
I was never going to get that.
Well, I was thought you'd be somewhere like sort of dwarfish sounding name because he is the last living Dwemer.
Oh.
Very exciting
Damn.
stuff. He's the last living Dwemer. He's kept alive by his old buddy, Divayth Fyr. He's just a chill guy. He helps you on your quest in Morrowind. He's a little bit bitter about being a weird, shrunken, fat dude with spider legs now.
Yeah, I can see that.
But overall, he's chill. He hangs out with Divayth and his clone daughter wives.
Oh. Oh, dear.
He doesn't partake in anything, don't worry. But I think it's literally like he needs Divayth Fyr to keep being alive and walk around and stuff is sort of the situation. But
Swings and roundabouts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I'll send
technically,
you-
we should have a DMC with him, otherwise he might just drop dead.
Yagrim.
Damn, bro.
I don't know. Do I? Well,
I mean, he is the last living Dwemer.
yeah,
You know?
that's fascinating.
Could be interesting to have some
That's-
conversations with him about
That's
that.
interesting. Is
And if
he
we have
gonna?
a DMC with him, we can speak to him and the other guy at the same time, and then he won't die.
Will he wear a shirt if we're out?
Well, when I say die, I just mean like he needs upkeep on his mechanics and stuff.
I see, okay. Yeah, I also would like to know the answer to Rufus's question.
Wait, what did Rufus
Is
ask?
he
Will
gonna
he
wear a shirt when we're out?
Is he gonna what? Wear a
When
shirt?
we're out, yeah.
I mean, he might wear a shirt, but he also might take it off when he gets excited.
Oh god, I think it'd be a real waste of an opportunity to get shit faced with this guy when we could have a DMC.
Yeah. DMC, I think DMC.
I think I'll take a DMC.
Yeah, the last living dwarf or somewhat living dwarf would be to get shit faced. Great story, but you look back on it and think, God, I could have asked so many interesting questions, and instead all we did was play like Never Have I Ever.
Okay, so here we have the final list. Do we want to order it or?
I don't think they need ordering, I don't think, for this one.
Personally, I don't think they need ordering.
So we have the afters, which is
Being
Sanguine.
hosted by Sanguine.
Hosted by Sanguine. We have Almalexia and Meridia. So we have some baddies. We have Boethiah, who could be a baddie potentially, depending on how they're feeling at that moment.
Yep.
You know, they sort of, the form is whatever you want the form to be in a way. So if you want them to be a baddie, they will be.
We're inclusive.
And then we have Farkas and Septim just chilling.
You have two
That is a lit afters, bro.
you have
That was
us,
just,
two
oh.
normal dudes, and then four gods.
And one of those dudes could tell the future.
Yeah, and he's like
Yes.
the emperor, the emperor of the whole.
Oh,
of
and
Syria.
sorry, the other dude is Farkas. So,
the other-
I mean,
Yeah.
come on now.
Next, we are getting
Great
shit-faced. We are getting shit-faced with Astrid the assassin, Caius the drug addict,
The schematic, yeah.
Faendal the borderline sexual harasser, Hircine the hunter, Ji'zargo, who I just love. I'm not gonna say anything bad about him. Lydia, your follower, your loyal companion. Maik, the liar. Mephala, the web weaver. Nazir, the other assassin. And Vilkas, the brother of Farkas.
Vilkas purely to spite him by not taking him to the after.
We're like, oh yeah, we'll see you later, man. See you
yeah,
later.
yeah. Where's,
You walk out
Wait, where's-
arm in arm with
where's
Farkas.
Farkas going? Oh, we're just going somewhere else. Like, yeah.
And you walk out arm in arm with him. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
worry about it, man. Don't worry
fucking
about it.
savage.
You would have a deep, meaningful conversation with Azura, the Daedric prince of Dusk and Dawn.
Damn right.
With Divayth Fyr, the most powerful mage in Morrowind. With Nocturnal, the Daedric prince of thievery. With Alduin, the right hand. Sorry,
Not
with
Alduin.
Paarthurnax,
No,
the right hand
Paarthurnax.
man of the right hand man of Alduin. With Tiber Septim, the emperor who turned into Talos, and with Yagrum Bagon, the last Dwemer. You would have a deep, meaningful conversation with all these people.
Yeah.
You would have a single pint with Jarl Balgruuf,
Yep.
everyone's favorite. Clavicus Vile, which might be, he might get you in a pint. You
Sure.
think you're fine, but then he might get you. Hermaeus Mora, which would be a very long pint. Malacath, which would just be a stinky pint. Martin Septim, which I don't even know if he'd have a pint. He might just have like an apple juice. Pelinal White Streak, which would honestly be very, very interesting. Pelinal drinking with him and his overwhelming racism. And Sotha Sil, the sort of Sigma incel god of Morrowind. After that, we're avoiding eye contact with Cicero, the mad clown, hoping he doesn't see us. Mehrunes Dagon, who may bump into you accidentally, depending. Odahviing, because you don't want to say his name or he might start some shit.
Yeah.
Ulfric Stormcloak, just because he's a bit racist and it's a little bit like you gotta quit that man. And Vermina, because she's gonna start talking to you about what you're afraid of you know.
Yeah.
Give me nightmares.
Lastly, you're covering your trick around the adoring fan. Crassius, Curio, I almost forgot his name, Namira, and Sheogorath, which I think is all fair. I think that's all fair ones. They can't really be trusted in a way. And then Musketeer, Dagoth, who's just ultra maga Ulfric Stormcloak times a million with godlike powers. Delphine, who I think was just a bit personal, to be honest.
We're just all.
I
We're
actually
just
find this
sick.
hilarious that these are all like
Yeah.
really horrible gods, and then we just got
Yeah.
Delphine.
Just Delphine.
Yeah.
Jyggalag, who's like just the most authoritarian, fascist, hive mind guy ever. Molag Bal, who we're just gonna skip. Perriite, who's just gross. I like Perriite, but just ugh. And Vivek, because he is just sort of a bad person. Don't even get me started. During a war with the Nords, in order to get a, because obviously like they all shout, the Nordic warriors. That's how they fight.
Yeah.
So he was fighting a female Nordic warrior. And the exact terminology is like, oh, he filled her mouth with his like milk finger.
Oh.
Nice.
It's
Okay.
like, what is a milk
Damn.
finger?
Who
Michael
writes
Kirkbride?
this
What is
stuff?
it? Michael Kirkbride writes it. My goat.
I'm headcounting Ethan did all this with no notes, nothing. He just got to stream of consciousness.
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
have
it's
any
just
Favorite
off the top
thing.
of his head.
You don't have any notes.
I don't have any notes. No.
It's like
Damn.
it's like me with He-Man. Like I just know.
Yeah, you just know. it all.
I'm just going off rip. I used to like, get high off Benadryl a lot and read the 36 Lessons of Vivek. That was sort of my pastime. During like second year of uni and first year technically, that's just what I did a lot.
Second year
Fair
uni.
enough.
Second year Ethan was kind of wild. Yeah.
Yeah, I just did a lot of Benadryl and read philosophy texts and also Elder Scrolls lore.
Not to get the two confused
That's what I was
ever.
doing. Yeah, well, it's basically philosophy, you know, in a way. It's like a mixture of like theology, philosophy, history. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And but also none of it's real, which is very helpful. But yeah, are we happy? Are we happy with this list?
I'm so
Yep.
happy.
I'm happy with this list. I think this afters is going to be lit.
It's gonna be great
Okay.
afters. What are we doing next?
Can we start recording? Or are we recording still?
That was a question.
No, we
for-
got to tease the
Yeah,
people. We
this-
got to
that-
tease.
that's
The
Oh.
the teaser.
The next on the list is a Destiny Smash or Pass.
Ooh,
Nice.
we're just
Let's
going.
go.
Wait, see, I was being coy about the smash or passes. I was, you know.
This
just
is an
going
actual
straight
smash or
for
pass.
it. Actually, okay. In the afters, who are we smashing?
Meridia,
Mm-hmm.
Sanguine,
Yep.
probably Farkas,
Yeah.
Boethiah,
Just naming.
and the other one that I can't remember her name. Euro Septim can watch.
Yeah, not Sanguine because he'd probably be in the orgy or just.
Oh, actually, yeah, it might.
He's a
it
real
might-
freak.
It might turn from sex into a blood orgy, right? Yeah, that might be a bit. Yeah, so maybe not Sanguine. Sanguine can also watch. Him and Euro Septim can go off and do some stuff, you know.
That makes sense.
While I have the others to myself.
Anyways, you want to do an outro remix to that? You want to leave it at that?
Let's just leave it at that. Yeah.